Welcome to Disrespectfully
with Katie Maloney
and Dayna Kathan.
Unapologetically,
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
Have we recovered from Wednesday? Are people still listening? I just don't know.
Is anybody out there?
Hello.
Who am
Is
I?
anybody out? Who am I? God.
Sorry. If you listen to our episode on Wednesday, you'll get that reference.
It wasn't bad.
I don't
wasn't
know.
bad. I was sitting right here.
It's like, I know that
I have to walk
when
that
I
one
lay
off.
in bed and I'm trying to fall asleep, I'm going to twitch thinking about that episode. But, you know, it'd be like that. Hey, everyone, what I didn't point out is I'm wearing a Destiny's Child shirt from Beyonce's show that I got
Oh.
when they came out. I spent $70 on it like a fool. The foolish, that's an expensive t-shirt. It was
You should have
ridiculous.
bought outside the venue like you did at Ethel Kane.
That shirt, now that I've really gotten a look at it, is so bad.
Is
It
it?
doesn't even make sense.
You were
It's-
you were raving about it. You're like, oh my God, it's like exactly what it looks like.
I was drunk.
But it's soft.
We didn't even talk about this. We went to Ethel Kane, of course. We had great seats. The show was her live voice is like fucking out of this world. So we got out of the venue and I didn't get any merch because the merch was long and whatever. And there was merch, you know, the outside merch people. I never stop and talk to them. I don't make eye contact. I was drunk. And we stopped right in front of this guy and he's like, look at this t-shirt. And I was like, wow, dead ringer. Oh my God, I had a dream I met Ethel Kane last night.
Oh.
It looks like the image on it looks like something. Do you remember clip art that you would pull from to do
Yeah.
book reports when you were little? You know
Yeah.
how they were always like some of the images were like when you got them big were really blown out and whatever.
Pixelated.
It is a pixelated photo of a guy and a girl, and the phrase on the side. I'm gonna take a photo when I get home and send it to you. It's not a complete sentence. It doesn't make any sense.
It's
So
like when you see they take pictures of like t-shirts in Japan that are written in English
Yes.
and they don't make any
yes,
sense.
it was literally that. I was like, are you guys worried about copyright or what? So anyway, I put it in my jammy drawer. That is now a jammy shirt. So, and the color is not flattering for me. I just don't know what I was thinking. Don't ever let me do that again outside of a concert, please.
Okay, I'm sometimes not a great influence because I'm like, get it.
You
want
100%
it.
did that.
If it's
You're
gonna
like-
make you happy, well, yeah, obviously. The same way with Monica the other day. She's like, wanted to get a piercing, and then I was like, do it.
It looks really good.
It looks
though,
really
so
good.
You did
but
a
yeah.
good job.
But see, I'm gonna be the person that's always gonna be like, yeah. No,
Well, and
not always.
We had the smell of street meat wafting into our noses, and
Oh, and our drunk Lyft driver.
oh my God, that was so upsetting.
You guys, it was really scary.
It was actually terrifying. I don't know what was going on, but for as drunk as I was, noticing that this person shouldn't have been driving, it's a bad sign.
They were all over the road, and also they kept putting their head like on like the I don't know. Listen,
It was bad vibes.
be safe out there. That's why I always pay extra for like a Uber SUV or Black.
I usually do, especially at night, but it was way. I can't remember at this point if it was way quicker or I just like clicked it or what. I don't know what I was thinking, but I paid dearly for that choice. So
Well, we're safe. We're here to tell you the tale.
to tell you your own stories that you wrote into us. How are you doing? We didn't even ask about you.
Oh, well, you know, it's been a day. I am just excited to get out of town. You know, when you're like, I just need to get away.
Yeah,
I need to get away. I need to go D&D and fuck off in the desert.
perfect.
And
How hot
that's-
is it going to be?
Hot as hell. I
So
don't
hot.
even care. I don't even care because I'm going to be in a pool and
Yeah,
air
you are.
conditioning and misters. I love misters. Do you like misters?
I love a mistress in the desert, especially. My God, there's not at Coachella. There's like certain pockets where you find the misters or the fans, and I just like.
Oh, it was Fleur that doesn't like misters because her hair.
Oh, at the point that I am, because I have like really textured hair too. You've seen with my extensions, I look like a jellyfish because my extensions are straight and then my curly frizzy hair is up here. At the point at which I require a mister, I no longer care about how I look. It's like I just would rather frizz it up and be comfortable.
Yeah, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm at the end of my rope. That's where I am.
Okay, good. So am I. Well, actually, do you know what? The story that I'm about to tell you, this Hometown Hero, is actually probably my favorite one that's ever been
Really?
written in. So a lot of times, because we have so many of these to go through, which we're grateful for, if you're still listening, please send your Hometown Heroes and WWDDs into disrespectfullypod@gmail.com. It was so well told and really, really fascinating to me. And it was kind of a corrections thing for us. So I just loved it. And I'm really excited. It's about Burning Man. I'm excited to read you this.
Oh, okay.
Really quickly, because people were
Are
fucking...
people okay there?
I don't know. I've seen mixed bag reviews. What is Pluto? Real quick, we need to do a circle back.
It's a dwarf.
Yeah, okay. People came for me because I was like, it's a star, whatever. I said I'm not an astronomer. Just a quick corrections, little circle back. Pluto is a dwarf planet located in the Kuiper belt, a region beyond Neptune filled with icy bodies. So I made the mistake of calling, I knew it got a downgrade, but basically someone wrote in and said that when they got better telescopes, that's why they changed it up. They realized if the size of Pluto was a planet, then they were all planets. So they were like, we have to differentiate. And so it's a dwarf planet. So I'm sorry I said star. Again, I never claimed to know what I was talking about.
It's a mini planet. Got it. Listen, we're not astronomers. That was a simply high.
I said that.
My high thoughts are unresearched and they're only hypothesized in my high brain.
Yeah. Like most of this podcast. So like, I don't know what to tell you.
That's basically the basis of this.
Anyway,
But,
dwarf planet, not a star.
Well,
move
then
on.
let's get into the Hometown Heroes.
Let's do some Hometown Heroes. Fabby says, Burning Man stories. And just preface, this one is long, but it's worth it.
Settle in.
Ladies, as someone who first went in 2001, did an art installation in 2004, met my husband there, went very pregnant and took our kids several times and ran several theme camps, I'm uniquely qualified to answer your questions and tell you all kinds of stories.
Yeah, I would say that you are Burning Man.
You are Burning Man. You are the man. So this was fascinating. First, it's not a bartering system. It's a gifting. You bring things to share and expect nothing back. Barter is not the same. You bring what you need. Radical self-reliance is a principle, or you make do. So I definitely fucked that up. I said it was bartering, but gifting is actually even more interesting to me.
I think the notion is like you're all bringing things to share. So it's why you're not trading things or bartering. Like if you don't got nothing to share, so what you just take, does that fall into the ethics?
I would say so.
Okay.
I mean, again, maybe right in. Back when I started going, the event was still very small. It's rooted in cacophony, think prankster vibes, and that was who attended. Freaks, artists, derelicts, pyromaniacs. The conduct and census every year, and historically, it's been very white, mid to upper income, but now more so than ever. Back then, the population was around 25,000 and you could see everything. I'd spend my days on heroic amounts of psychedelics, cruising around on my bike, just having one incredible interaction after another. Now it's population 80,000. So because I was like, because it's an actual city that they build there. So wow, 25 to 80, that's crazy. Which is what creates the problems at the gates, ingress and egress, as well as contributes to the dust problem because the playa is powder and all the extra vehicles and foot traffic cause it to loosen up. That was not the case. Tickets used to be around $100 for the week, and we would always buy an extra ticket or two and gift someone. Now they're up to $3,000, which is insane. Back in the day, cell phones weren't everywhere and cameras weren't allowed unless you had a media pass. There was two reasons for this. One, immediacy, another principle of the event, which means to be present and immersed, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And two, because of the things that used to go on there. I literally watched a woman pull an alarm clock out of her vagina at Bianca's Smut Shack at 6 a.m. Thought that was cool.
Okay.
Did you see, quick pause, in the actual Burning Man's the orgy dome blew down. That's a bummer. It's like usually
I
a
didn't
dome
know
for
that there
orgies.
was an orgy dome, but
There's a place there specifically for orgies, and I would love to go, even just to see, and blew down. Anyway, my first ever event was naked fruit cocktail wrestling. Someone dragged a circus tent, actual size, out there and filled a large pool with fruit cocktail. People would get in and wrestle in it. Think about that. You're in the desert without showers, and anyone after the first two people, gross but hilarious. There used to be something called Critical Tits. It was an all-female, topless bike ride across the playa celebrating boobies. It ended at a secret location where male volunteers showered the women with champagne and fruit and gave massages and treated us like queens.
okay, that is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was like, that's fascinating. I want to know
Ride
more
around
about
with your tits
these.
out and the champagne shower
Incredible.
and massage.
Incredible.
Listen,
I love that the volunteering of it. Like, that's just, I thought that was really cool. Again, when we were saying, like, I can kind of see why people like it. I can't, like, that I get.
well, now I'm getting a better insight to like what people are up to there. I just thought you just walked around anyway. So
We did Playa Q when I was pregnant. A friend brought out enormous tents and 3 amazing chefs who cooked restaurant multi-course meals while concubines came around and gave massages and foot rubs. Think lamb chops, wild boar spare ribs, great wine pairings, and an array of sushi served on beautiful naked women. Incredible.
What?
Incredible. Every year, they build a temple to commemorate those who've passed. Gorgeous buildings where people would leave offerings at and burn it on Sunday after the man burns on Saturday. My dog's ashes went 1 year. There used to be a drive-by shooting range, yes, real guns, and 1 year, some MI carnies brought out a very sketchy roller coaster that they'd let you ride for a PBR. A friend of ours used to bring in acres of actual sod and create a blacklight chill area called Zara. Spanky's Bar had a Sibian in the main area. Do you think it's the same as the afters we would go to?
I doubt
I almost
it, but
guarantee you. Why would it not? I don't know. Spanky's Bar had a Sibian in the main area, and there's the good old Orgy Dome and Temple of Atonement. I got kicked out. Okay, I wish that you would.
So
have
one
told us why.
Sibian, do everyone just hop on?
What's a Sibian?
You know, Sibian is basically like a
Wait, am I
saddle
stupid
that
for
you
not knowing that? Oh, I didn't know. Oh, is it that little machine?
It's a saddle that you sit on and it vibrates like an insane.
Oh, I thought it was the dick one, where it's like you like move it and like the dick comes in and out of
I
it.
don't even know that was no. It's like a Sibian. It's you sit on it and it's like just
Interesting. Have you ever sat on one?
no.
Oh, okay. Would you want to?
Yeah,
I would. Where did we get one of those? That sounds awesome. I mean, apparently it's at Burning Man. I just like picture all this covered in dust too, which is funny. I could
just picture everything's sticky.
Yeah. I could keep going, but this is getting long. My art piece was actually called Oral Fixation, but it's spelled AURAL. I consensually recorded conversations between very high people at parties throughout the year and brought a sculpture to Deep Playa where you could just lay down, close your eyes, and listen to them. My husband and I have several theme camps. The reason it's so popular is because of stuff like this that doesn't exist anymore. The people like myself that have contributed to making it cool don't go anymore, and it's become more about DJs and loud sound camps. Now, there's actual cell towers there, where before there was no reception whatsoever. You needed a satellite phone or to take an hour-long trip to Gerlach to use the gas station payphone. I'll always tell my parents approximately where I was camping in case someone had an emergency and someone needed to find me. And a primary tenet used to be no spectators. Everyone contributed. Now it's just influencers saying, look at me in videos, and it just makes me sad. It's missing the entire point. Anyway, yeah, if you have questions, I'm happy to share stories. There are many. I've been married for over 20 years to the guy I met there, so it'll always be precious to me. Ugh, I love that so much. Last story, after my first burn, I visited Chicago, my hometown, from San Diego where I was living. My local friends were looking for something to do, so I took them to a burner event I saw on a message board. I met a guy there dressed like a doctor who whipped out a prescription pad and wrote, "Fine, Trey Gauche." Befuddled, I held onto it and asked around when I got home. Months later, someone introduces me to Trey, not his real name. We became friends, and he ultimately took me to an event where I met my husband, so it literally changed my life. We've been together since 2003.
I just got chills.
No, that's incredible. I cannot.
Ugh.
And our kids hate burners. I guess taking them had the opposite effect. LOL. Attached is my tarot card. The San Diego burners did an entire deck, which I still have. Great times, great memories, different time, different space. Love you, bye. Wasn't that so good?
I'm so happy that someone wrote in and gave us kind of like a rundown. I understand like is it like the Greek system where it's like everything's a secret or what? I understand the concept of playa. I understand it's a city. I understand people bring stuff, but it's like, but what do you do all day for a week? That gives me a good. They ride around naked on their bikes.
That part of it, I totally understand. And I love that someone wrote in with the perspective of validating what we think of it is now. I do believe it's completely different, and it's strange, from the
I was
path
wondering, I'm
of,
like, is it just like a festival now, basically? Like,
yeah, it's like I saw fucking John Summit always with this fucking stupid thing. I don't know.
it's just like Doolab.
Yeah, I think
On crack.
I think it used to be about these fundamental things and these really cool artistic people, and it's just changed so much. And I'm saying this as someone who hasn't gone, but I feel validated by this. But I really loved. Thank you for writing this thing. I just loved your stories about the cool things that it used to be and the different.
When they
components.
say everyone participates and there's no spectator, so like everyone participates and like you
in different ways.
like have to have an orgy.
No.
I mean, I love the sexual liberation aspect of it. I think it's very cool. I'm into it, but like, I would want to feel like pressure to do things.
No.
outside.
I think she's saying no spectators in the sense of like just standing around being looked at in the event as a whole. Like everyone was
like if you're
working
going
to
to the orgy dome, you're not just watching, you're participating.
No, I think you can watch. I think she meant no spectators. Like at least this is how I interpreted it. No spectators as far as you're not just going there looking at the stuff, not doing anything. Everyone is having a purpose there to do something.
So everyone has events.
Because I think
there.
I've read more about the orgy dome before, and I think you can just go watch. But
Not that I'm not saying I want to, but I'm just saying if like everyone's participating. Okay.
Oh, I do. Well, I think that's really cool, and thank you for letting us know. And how amazing that it can be such a random thing that all of a sudden you meet your partner, and then your partner turns into your kids, and it's like that's the very like registering of it all, like this.
And then the legacy dies with your kids.
Yep, because then your kids hate it. Okay. Anyway, thank you. Love that.
Fall is in full swing and it's the perfect time to refresh your wardrobe with pieces that feel as good as they look. Luckily, Quince makes it easy to look polished, stay warm, and save big without compromising on quality.
Quince has all the elevated essentials for fall. Think 100% Mongolian cashmere from $50, washable silk tops and skirts, and perfectly tailored denim, all at prices that feel too good to be true.
I'm eyeing their wool coats. They look designer level but cost a fraction of the price, and the quality just as good if not better.
By partnering directly with ethical, top-tier factories, Quince cuts out the middleman to deliver luxury quality pieces at half the price of similar brands. It's the kind of wardrobe upgrade that feels smart, stylish, and effortless.
I just got the 100% leather oversized bomber jacket and it is perfect. You guys have got to check it out.
Ooh, maybe I will. Keep it classic and cozy this fall with long-lasting staples from Quince. Go to quince.com/disrespectfully for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
That's QUINCE.com/disrespectfully to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/disrespectfully. Fall is all about layering, and there's no better base layer than high-quality, comfortable shapewear. Whether you're dressing up for weddings and date nights or getting cozy in sweaters and boots, let's talk about what's underneath, because the right shapewear makes everything look and feel better.
Today's episode is brought to you by Honeylove, the brand redefining modern shapewear with real comfort and serious support. Honeylove's targeted compression works with your body, not against it, giving you sculpted support where it counts and easing up where you need flexibility.
And thanks to flexible boning hidden in the side seams, it actually stays put. No rolling, no adjusting, no awkward tugging under your layers, no matter how much you move. These pieces are lingerie inspired and designed to be as beautiful as they are effective. So whether you're slipping into a fall dress or just want to feel confident under your everyday favorites, Honeylove has your back, your curves, and your comfort covered.
Honeylove's best-selling Superpower short is the go-to. It has targeted compression technology that distinguishes between areas where you want more support and areas where you need less compression. Their Signature X targets and sculpts your midsection without squeezing your natural curves. It's designed to work with your body, not against it.
Ladies, we've all been there, struggling to take off a tight piece of shapewear with a bathroom line out the door. The Superpower short has 100% cotton gusset, so you can skip the extra undies. Plus, it has a convenient opening in the panty area for super easy bathroom. No costume change required.
The Superpower short is also a booty lifter. Boost bands on the back of the thighs give your bottom amazing shape.
And Honeylove isn't just about shapewear. They also have unbelievably comfortable bras. Honeylove's best-selling crossover bra gives all the support of traditional bras without using any underwires. This is the one bra you'll actually enjoy wearing and won't want to take off.
Treat yourself to the most comfortable shapewear on earth and save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/disrespectfully. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off, honeylove.com/disrespectfully. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please, please, please support our show and tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in shapewear with Honeylove.
Anonymous says, "Hi, Katie and Dana. When you asked for crazy holiday healthcare stories, I knew I had to share this one. This was a New Year's Eve night shift as a nurse in an ICU. We celebrate midnight with some snacks and some sparkling water. Overall, pretty chill night. Shortly after, though, we got word of an admission that would be mine. 80-year-old male burned victim from a fire and is so burned the only option is comfort care. So we basically just bringing him up to the ICU and keeping him sedated while family can gather at 3 a.m. on New Year's Day to say goodbye." That's really sad. "We go down to the ER to pick him up. I will never forget the smell of burned skin down there. Oof. As I followed the scent to my new patient, story was he had low blood sugar overnight. While confused, sat on the toilet smoking a cig, fell asleep, and lit himself on fire." That's how so many fires are started by cigarettes. "I got to meet the wife, who was also in her 80s, and she looked so familiar to me, like I definitely know this lady. She locks eyes on me, shrugs her shoulders, and goes, 'What a way to ring in the new year, eh?' Turns out she was my new neighbor. I had just moved into a house with my bestie a month prior. I go home from my night shift, and the fire truck is out front of my house. Firefighters everywhere. No visible damage to any houses, thankfully. But wow, what a wild ride of New Year's Eve night shift. There's so much more lore to this story that involves a homicide accusation and conspiracy of spontaneous combustion of humans. No thank you. But this has been long enough. Love you ladies in this pod. Signed, ICU nurse on New Year's Eve." Damn.
Wow, that's wild to have that happen and then it's your neighbor.
And then it's your neighbor.
That's crazy.
That's so sad.
So sad. Spontaneous combustion of humans. That's interesting. Have you ever heard of that before?
I've heard of spontaneous combustion. I don't understand.
Kind of attack on how Wednesday we were talking about the randomness of the note. I saw a gal on TikTok. I have no idea who it was, so I'm sorry I can't give you credit. But she was talking about how organ donors or donees, the ones that get the organ, sometimes their personality changes and certain things about them change because they have the organ from someone else who has that personality or that trait. Like you have to go on this is all alleged. I haven't researched it myself yet, but you have to go on a DNA blocker so your body doesn't reject the new organ. And so when that happens, it can change your shit so someone cannot have bipolar and then get a kidney from someone who's bipolar and then end up with bipolar.
What?
So I need to research that more. I've never heard of that. That's insane.
It's not like those people like where they have some type of like crazy traumatic injury that happens and then all of a sudden they can like play the piano.
I've definitely heard of that. I mean, I think it's all, I'm open to all possibilities.
Oh, I believe it.
We are.
100%.
So I'm going to look into spontaneous
Again, I don't
combustion.
understand the chemistry of what happens neurologically. Holy shit. But like, I get, it makes sense though. Jamie says, thanks for naming my baby. Hi, Dana and Katie. Not quite a hometown hero, but I had to write in and thank you both for helping me name my son. Because of the two of you, I started watching The Affair. I was pregnant with my second son at the time, and my husband and I could not agree on a name at all. Then I was introduced to Cole, played by the one and only Joshua Jackson. Alas, my son had a name. If it weren't for your very short-lived rewatch segment, I wouldn't have watched the show, and I don't know if I would have ever come across the name. Baby Cole made his arrival in early April, and the name fits him perfectly. Also, I watched The Affair during my 3-hour glucose test and was praying that no one would sit behind me in the waiting room and see the inevitable sex scenes playing on my phone. K Love You by Jamie and Cole.
Thank
you know what?
God, something good came out of that.
That car crash of a segment served purpose. So we are so happy for you, Jamie and baby Cole.
Also, I love the name Cole, and I love his
great.
character and the whole thing about it. So, oh my God, I love that so much.
Congrats.
Incredible. Congratulations on little baby Cole. And I know, isn't that the worst when you're watching something that you know is going to have salacious, racy moments, and you're like, I know that people are going to be watching this. Like, I watched Call Me By Your Name on an airplane.
Oh, yeah. No, I've done that for sure on a plane. I always, like, another thing that's embarrassing that shouldn't be watching something and having other people see your screen and judge you for it.
Absolutely.
Like, I was watching Goofy movie on a plane and I was like, are people going to judge me? Because I'm like,
they are. Of course they are. That's a great movie. So I wouldn't. We have taste. But I watch other people's screens too. And I also try to read their conversations.
I love when I see people watching Vanderpump Rules on planes. It makes me happy.
I think it's like that. We've probably talked about this before, but when Rainn Wilson, aka Dwight Schrute, was on a plane next to a guy in the entire flight, he watched, and it was probably COVID times because he was wearing a mask, watched The Office, and when they landed, he took his mask off and turned and looked at him, and he recorded it, and the guy was like, oh my God, and he asked him if he could post it, but I thought that was amazing. He's like the entire flight. He was sitting next to him watching.
That would be me, because I definitely watch like The Office or Curb Your Enthusiasm on a plane. Could have been me, but it wasn't. I'm not that lucky.
Kaylee says, hi, Dana and Katie. Thank you so much for being my ultimate comfort podcast. As a fellow OCD girly, I constantly repeat Dana's advice of don't live it twice. It's been so helpful. Listening to you both and watching how you carried yourselves on Vanderpump Rules has shown me exactly how I want to allow my young daughter's personality to continue to bloom into such confidence and comfortability in herself, and has helped me finally step into my own personality that has always been deemed as too much. You know what, Kaylee? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anywho, here's my story. When I was in college, my boyfriend went to school about an hour away. I spent pretty much every weekend at his school drinking and partying with friends. I was notorious for puking and rallying. Oh God, I remember this one. It was a part of my evening, and I knew I had to do it to be able to keep going. At this point in my life, I had to set an alarm on my phone for 10 p.m. every night to take my birth control. It was literally named Don't Get Prego Yo. I don't know, I thought it was funny in 2013. So one night, we were a few hours into partying, playing drinking games, and I'd hit that point. So I excused myself to the bathroom to vom so I could continue being my party girl self. I puke, and as I go to flush, I realize I had just taken my birth control. Like it was probably 10:05. So my disgusting ass picks the pill up out of my puke in the toilet and takes it for the second time in the evening.
Oh,
I just knew I couldn't get pregnant at this point in my life, and that was apparently my solution. I moved on and didn't tell anyone until I remembered what I had done. The next day, 12 years later, that boyfriend and I are married with 2 beautiful children, neither which were conceived that drunken night, obviously. Thank you for reading. I'd love for you to go on tour. I'd for sure travel to come see you. And I'd love some merch with your babe. You're going to see the power of women, like disrespectfully. I'd buy it all. Okay, love you. Bye, Kaylee. I died at how disgusting that was. Number one, picking up Matthew Perry. He tells stories about people who, when they're using opioids, if they throw them up, they'll eat them again. So that in and of itself, but it being in the toilet water too, in a frat, is there is no worse toilet.
That's
I think.
low.
Bruh.
Would
also,
you do it?
No.
Okay, I'm just
Oh my God. I would sooner go
you'd
for a
risk-
plan B in the morning or, put on 2 condoms. I don't do that. That's only one. No. Are you kidding? You would never. There's no
absolutely not. But I don't know. Desperate times.
anal. I would do anal first. I'd just be like, hey, we need to skip this tonight. But yeah, I just could not believe how disgusting it was. But I get it. I mean, at least you're kind of responsible. But the fact that you puked and rallied every time is crazy. I am not a puke and rallier. I am a puke and I'm going home for 3 days.
Yeah, if I'm puking,
I'm done.
it's curtain call for me.
But I've also always been mostly a morning puker. Like I can count on, it's not that it hasn't happened. I can count on probably one hand the amount of times, even as much as I've drank in my life, at nighttime. It's usually it was always in the morning when
Do you know
I
what
was
I hate? Though I hate puking, but like you cannot argue with how much better you feel after. It's like an instant game changer.
I mean, I am gonna be honest with you guys. I threw up this morning. I was feeling so sick it came out of nowhere, and then I literally was like, "Holy shit, am I gonna throw up at the studio?" I was like thinking how far we are from the bathroom. I was like thinking about the trash can in the other room, and I was like, I really don't want to throw up in front of anyone.
We'll get you a bucket.
But then I did it. It just happened because I hate it more than anything. I always put it off, and it just happened. And then after, instantly it was better, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be able to record today.
Jesus.
Anyway, that's not normal for me, but feeling better now. Okay.
That's all that matters. All right. Yasmin says, my mom got robbed at Taco Bell too. Ladies, the pod is one of my highlights of the week. Wish we could have daily episodes. Well, be careful what you wish for. Just kidding. You two are fab, and I hope you always find street parking, hit all the green lights, and always perfectly time your first cigarette with your buzz. Whoa.
Okay, Yasmin, thank you so much.
Anyways, I digress. I was listening to Terry's I Got Held at Gunpoint while working at Taco Bell story and was reminded of my own father's story. He worked at Taco Bell in the 70s when the store was a walk-up shack stand, which just sounds exactly
What your mom
my
was
mom was doing.
describing.
It would get really hot in the shack, so if there was no customers, he and whoever he's working with would hang out back and smoke a cigarette. Legends.
Oh, yeah.
One day, they were standing outside of the shack when 2 people with a gun came in and stole the cash register and ran off. My dad's coworker, who was ex-Marine, ran after them, chasing them down the street. My dad, whose exact words were, "I'm not going to die for Taco Bell," took off. Same. That would be
Oh,
my
also,
energy.
just so you
for
know,
sure.
if you have any type of job like that, it's not, we're giving them the money. Who cares about the corporation? Do not risk your life.
They don't care about you
They do
enough for
not
you to
care
do
about
that.
you. Do not risk your life in that situation. Comply.
The next day, when he returned to work, his manager confessed that he and the assistant manager, whom he was having an affair with, staged the whole thing to show the importance of staying vigilant at the shack. They fired my dad for not pursuing the robbers and told him he wasn't Taco Bell material. These were different times, and my dad never sued, but should have, because he would have definitely had a great case. Guess it was a good thing he wasn't Taco Bell material. He went on to become a bartender and then a lawyer, and we still laugh at the story to this day. K love you, bye, Yasmin. I love that.
And also, you just know that they were using real guns.
Probably
When they
in
were
the
doing this,
70s?
because so I'm like that could have ended so many different ways badly.
I mean, hopefully they weren't loaded, but again, you were just going to pull that stunt in the street. You don't know who you're going to run into that is even more dangerous and like crazy than you are.
They were loaded. I feel confident about that.
Like, what if the cops had seen that?
That's crazy.
Then you would get like, what are you going to do? It was a joke. Well, it doesn't look like a joke. You're carrying weapons and with a cash register. They were just trying to teach your employees a lesson. Like, the cops wouldn't buy that.
Taco Bell material. I mean, yeah, I'm not dying for your Crunchwrap Supreme. That's just not who I am.
Yeah, love the bean and cheese burrito, but like, you know
Beanie
what?
cheesy.
That $2 burrito is not going to save my life.
Just don't do it.
God, I won't talk about something so good. Okay, anyways.
That's how you know I'm not well. Taco Bell doesn't sound good to me. I've never said that sentence before.
I'm hungry.
Should we do a little WWDD?
Let's do some WWDD.
Scarlett says, "Hello, Kana. You two bring me nothing but joy on my work commutes. I always end up
Great
feeling."
couple's name.
Huh?
I said that's a great couple's name.
That's our couple
Kana
name.
is our couple. Kana. You two bring me nothing but joy on my work commutes. I always end up feeling validated about free roaming reject sperm, annoying people in public places, comfort luxuries, and getting down on every hot dog I see. I love you with every twinkle in my toes.
Wait, are we just gonna gloss over the free roaming reject sperm?
Yeah, we sure did.
What is that?
Annoying people in parentheses. Like, I would assume it's
Oh.
like turtles for me that walk on the
That is
sidewalk.
such a wild,
Crazy
like,
way. That's insane.
crazy
we love,
work.
Scarlett, we love you for it though.
Okay.
Now for my WWDD. I know that I'll be getting some judgment here and there, but this girl's in therapy and is willing to take criticism. Plus, my girlfriends tell it to me straight. So I broke up with my 4-year-long boyfriend in February. I caught him messaging other girls a couple times. He never did anything with them. So he says. So I believed him and moving on. Meanwhile, he drank heavily and was an angry drunk. He was so sweet and understanding and funny sober, but drunk him was not fun. He has a friend who was a fuck buddy for a few years and then became just friends. I met her and we started hanging out. Now we're super close. She called me one day to say he sent her a dick pic on Instagram disappearing messages. Shady. He immediately admitted it, apologized. It was because he was just drunk, yada yada. Told him to move out before the beginning of the month or you're paying rent and not living here, and I left. He moved out on time and he almost left everything. He made it really easy. I didn't see him again till May. We had both hooked up with different people. He's been wooing me with dinners, trips, gifts, and he has been sober since we broke up. I know it's not long, but he's showing good signs. We're not together and I'm hesitant to go back soon. Now, what used to be our anniversary is coming up this month and he wants to spontaneously fly us to Japan for 2 weeks next week for it. I'm not exactly financially ready for it, so I'm hesitant. I've been paying full rent since he left, and he hasn't paid his rent yet. I feel bad saying no, and it's also so much, but he's still the guy I loved. I don't know. What do y'all think? With love to my badass queen, Scarlett. Sorry, you're just one. Scarlett. I would say that the amount of red flags here is not enough for me to be getting back with this person, and I understand you're not together yet, but I mean, if he's wooing you with trips and gifts and dinners, that kind of gives love bombing to me, and to try to kind of minimize the parts of him that he doesn't want you to be paying attention to. It's great that he's sober. I hope that continues, but I don't think it's been long enough for you to be with him yet to know if that's going to be a thing. Here's my advice actually about any traveling. I don't care if this is romantic, platonic, whatever. What gives me pause with this is you saying that you're not ready for it financially, because if you go on any trip with anyone ever, and honestly, most trips to a foreign country, you need to be prepared for the fact that something could happen and you might need to spend a large amount of money to get out of it in terms of like getting a plane ticket unexpectedly. That's a cost that sometimes people don't factor in. So obviously don't let it stop you from traveling the world. But if this is someone that has, like, I'm more concerned that he's going to get drunk there and be crazy to you, and then you might need to be able to get out of the situation. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I would say go if you feel good, like trust your gut, but just be able to know that you might need to bail.
Yeah, I think the term for this is going to be cautiously optimistic, because if he is trying to turn a new leaf because he shapeshifts into a different awful person when he drinks and he doesn't want to be that person anymore. I mean, I've definitely seen examples too many times of people who cannot drink because they turn into a literal monster, but in their sober state, they are able to maintain and behave. And if that's where he's at, then great. Let him prove that to you, that he wants that journey for himself mainly, and also so he can be a better partner to somebody. But I think it's like, just let it happen over time. And it's not just like a love bombing, like fleeting sort of thing. And also I'm saying, if he wants to take you on a trip and is suggesting that, then why is he not paying for you?
I think he is. I mean, I think he is. For sure.
Or is it just like taking time off work? Or
I think we need more information, because he says he wants to fly us. So I'm assuming he's paying for the tickets, maybe not hotels. I don't know.
Or I understand just sometimes taking that much time off can affect you financially. So
yeah.
I would, if I were him and you want to see it through and spend, I would kind of like try to keep it a lot on your terms. So maybe say like, you know what, 2 weeks in Japan sounds great, but sounds like it's something that I can't do right now. So suggest like a little weekend getaway.
Yeah. And
just see how he is in those kind of celebratory times, like vacation times, and see how he acts. I think sometimes for ourselves, we have to like kind of see things through, because it's like either the lesson that we need or the closure that we need or whatever in order to move on. And so be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. And you think we give good advice, so I think you have a good head on your shoulders. So trust your gut here.
Yep.
Hope that helps.
Hope it helps. Anonymous says, "Hi, Katie and Dana. I love you both so much and look forward to your podcast every week. They always make me LOL, and I've shared them with everyone I know." Well, thank you. Tell everyone you know about this podcast.
Thank you, Anonymous. Keep telling him. Tell them not to listen to Wednesday's episode, but moving on.
Okay, we're supposed to speak nicely about ourselves.
Yeah,
Words or spells. This is the biggest podcast in the world. It's amazing. People love it.
It was just a little different flavor the other day, and it was still great. All right. I've been friends with this girl, let's call her Lily, for just under 4 years. We met on Bumble BFF when I moved to the area, and have been service level type friends that stay in touch weekly and go out for drinks. We went on our first trip together in June to New Orleans, and I saw a different side to her. As background, I'm single, but she has been in a relationship for going on 5 years. Her boyfriend sucks, and they've been having problems for the last 10 months, stemming from him being a big Trumper and telling her she should give up her vote for him since he's going to buy them a house. Wow. What a fucking loser.
Bruh.
She has occasionally talked shit about him to me ever since and has not been happy, but she has stayed in the relationship. While on the trip, we started talking to a bachelor party, and she ended up hooking up with one of them back at our Airbnb 2 nights in a row. I took this to mean she would finally break up with her boyfriend, but no. Her attitude was that she needed this and did not regret it, but was never going to tell her boyfriend. She continued texting this guy under a fake local number so her boyfriend wouldn't suspect it was someone from New Orleans if he saw it come up. What, Pizza Hut? Why is Pizza Hut FaceTime you? Anyways, right. While pretending her and her boyfriend were better off now that she got this out of her system, she told her boyfriend that while we were in New Orleans, I was the one insisting on hanging out with this bachelor party, which he flipped out about, and I invited one of them back to play cards, and then he came back in the middle of the night to hook up. Totally used me as her scapegoat. First of all, why is she just offering up this information?
I don't know.
That you want, I don't know, guilty conscious, but
Probably.
I ended up actually continuing to see the guy I was with and told her that if he ever asked me about what happened with her and his friend, I would not lie. I told her how much I don't agree with her not telling her boyfriend, and I can't be in the middle. 1 second she's talking to me about this other guy, and then we're in front of her boyfriend and they're talking about getting engaged. Ugh. She got really defensive and tried to gaslight me by saying the real reason she can't tell her boyfriend is because he won't let her be around me anymore. The guy I was with was flying out to visit me for the first time after our trip. But after I set those boundaries with her, she did not speak to me for 3 weeks. Never asked me how it was going or went, and she knew how excited I was. She eventually texted me again saying she didn't realize she never checked in, which felt even more insulting to me. I called her out on it, and she came back with a bunch of excuses again. She said she needed time after what I said to her was going to be the last time we spoke, and she wants to speak about it in person. Am I wrong for not keeping the secret for her? Is this friendship complete BS after this, or am I caring more than I should? Side note, the first night we met this guy in New Orleans, we went to a strip club, and the stripper charged them $200 to watch her give me and my friend a lap dance for about 3 minutes. It was awesome. Thank you. Love you. Bye. Keep this anonymous, please. These types of people you want to just avoid altogether.
Bye-bye.
Like the friend that hates their boyfriend and continually talks about it, but then it forces you to be around them and you hate them and you think they're bad for them. And like, I mean, you have to put space between these people. Like, let them figure out their mess on their own. I know you are trying to be caring because that's probably who you are by nature, but this person will derail and mess with your life, and I just think you're better off. I mean, you can go back to being surface level, and especially if they're going to say things like, oh, I didn't realize I didn't even get back to you or ask you. It's like, well, they don't care. They're selfish.
Yeah. I would say that it's pretty telling how she's operating. You should be paying attention to that with the sketchy thing she's
Yeah,
making.
you guys
and also
morally aren't aligned either.
Sorry,
so.
she's like thinking of marrying a man that is trying to coerce her into voting for a candidate. And I'm not just saying this because I hate that candidate, which I do with my whole chest, but because I'm buying a house, yuck. She seems to lack taste. She seems to make bad choices. And
no
have bad taste.
discernment, no taste. Yeah.
So I would say surface level at best. I think it makes sense, and you're not wrong for if you don't want to keep her secret, and that's not you. You're entitled to put those boundaries. And even her saying she wants to talk about it in person isn't giving for me, because it's more effective to communicate in person. I think she doesn't want a paper trail. I think she's a little sketch ball.
That too.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Anyway, yuck. No, thank
Yuck.
you. You ever fall head over heels for a couch online only to see the price and feel personally attacked? Like, why does this rug cost more than my car?
That's where dupe.com comes in. It's a genius tool that helps you find high quality, budget friendly versions of the expensive pieces you've been eyeing.
It's stupid easy to use. Just type / in front of any product URL and bam, it shows you lookalikes that won't drain your savings account.
And these aren't shady knockoffs. Most of the time, they're made in the exact same factories, just sold under a different name with a way scarier price tag.
So that $6,000 cloud couch influencers are always lounging in, Dupe will probably find it for $1,200. Same vibe, same plushiness, but you don't have to sell a kidney. It's totally free, dangerously addicting, and blowing up on TikTok for good reason.
If you've got expensive taste and very inexpensive budget, dupe.com is your new best friend. Go ahead and make your dream home happen without maxing out your credit card.
Dupe.com isn't just about furniture either. Dupe works for fashion, shoes, jewelry, and more. And if you buy furniture for work, chances are you already know about Dupe.com. But did you know they offer a special trade program just for professionals, like interior designers, real estate agents, and more?
Not only do you get the best prices by buying directly from manufacturers, but Dupe.com also offers 10% commission on purchases made through your account.
Dupe.com really is so easy to use. Just type dupe.com / before any product URL in your browser, and boom, it instantly finds less expensive alternatives.
They even have an app and browser extension you can download. No account required, no sign up required. It's completely free to use. Stop wasting money on brand names and start saving with Dupe.com today.
Anonymous says, hello, Dana and Katie. Anonymous Cutie here, writing in all the way from Australia. First of all, I wanted to say I love this podcast. As a post-Scandal bandwagon Vanderpump Rules watcher, I'm also a fellow Devon. Oh my God, I'm also a fellow Devon Rex mother, and I need to give Laszlo her flowers. Okay, she has a Devon Rex. I love that. So obviously, you know how to get me. You wrote that.
Laszlo gets all the flowers.
Laszlo gets her flowers. Do you know last night I was scrolling and I saw a black cat on TikTok named Laszlo. In the caption, there was like Laszlo, and it was spelled the same. I was like, oh my God. Anywho. Hey from down under. After an embarrassing amount of time, I finally realized that WWDD was actually short for what would disrespectfully do. Haha. And realized your girl does in fact have a burning friendship question that I hope you can help me with. So background. I have the usual 3-way group chat with my 2 besties. One is a childhood friend who I've been friends with for over 20 years. And then my other good friend who is a schoolmate I've known for over a decade. I've almost considered these babes some of my closest friends, and they are even going to be bridesmaids later this year. During the pandemic, my partner and I moved from our beloved city in a regional town for family and financial reasons. It was a big shift for me and something I have honestly struggled with quite a bit. That said, I have been determined to still be present in my friendships and be quite honest. I have run myself ragged commuting weekly, so I never miss a gig or a hang or a special moment. So here's my dilemma. Over the past years, our group chat has morphed to a shared space for silly goose memes and long voice memos that supplemented our rich friendship to being the main way we communicate. These 2 friends have really slipped over the years, and outside of this chat, they almost never check in with a text or initiate a hang. They might come to see me in my town, an hour and a half away, once a year at most, while I travel weekly. If I initiate something, they are receptive and lovely. However, I'm starting to be resentful at being the only one that keeps things afloat. I know we're all in our mid-30s and life gets very busy and friendships change, but this is feeling a bit hurtful. Both of them are incredibly busy in fairness, but so am I. I don't think it's personal because I always feel the love when I do see them. However, I think there is a lazy complacency happening. Now our fun, silly group chat just feels shallow. I love seeing a funny meme as much as the next person, but it feels weird when I'm out of the loop of their actual lives and they have no clue what's happening in mine. The sting of hearing about big nights or casual local hangs that I'm not even invited to is getting tough. I can feel myself starting to create some distance from it all. Do I just focus on some of my other lovely friendships that give me what I'm looking for? Or do I say something? I'm nervous about how to approach it if I do speak up. My childhood bestie and I are typical traumatized millennials who pretend everything is fine all the time, then secretly bitch while my other friend, cancer, enough said, so it might not go down well. Anywho, I hope this isn't too long and maybe you can help me out. Anonymous Cutie. I think that we talk about friendships changing all the time in the different seasons, and I understand that there can be discomfort and pain with that, and you should give yourself space to feel that way. However, life does change, particularly when there's distance involved. It's very hard. Like my 2 best friends from back home, Randy and Courtney. Randy was a college friend. Courtney's a childhood friend, so it's actually a really similar thing, and the 3 of us are friends. We have maintained our friendships, but they've changed dramatically over the years. And it's not that we all still don't love each other, and, you know, we just went on a trip to Palm Springs because we wanted to reconnect, but it had been years since we had done something like that, so we have to be very proactive outside of our just throwing memes in and whatnot. And it does change, and they have kids and people get busy and things do happen. So I actually think that it's worth it if you feel the need to say something, to just say to them, like, and the fact that you're going weekly is crazy to me. An hour and a half is not, it's not nothing. It's still, that's an amount, a distance. It's not Timbuktu, but it's, you know, it could be done, but it's still a lot of effort on your part. So I would say it's worth it to say something to them. And maybe the next time you see them and you feel like it's an appropriate setting, to just be like, maybe you guys are feeling this way too. I want to bring it up. I don't want us to fight. I don't want this to feel accusatory that I'm blaming, but this is what I'm noticing, and perception's reality. So I'm curious how you guys are feeling. I don't think if these people are your real friends that anyone is going to like jump down your throat if you approach in a you guys are not being good enough friends to me blah, blah, blah way and just keep it really, this is coming from a place of love. And then if nothing changes, I think that you should be focusing on other friendships and just appreciate when you do see them and maybe not put in so much effort of like being the one who's always going there.
Yeah, I think I echo everything you're saying, that it's just, it is part of life to accept these changes. They can be hard. I understand like just the unfamiliar territory of it all. But I think, like Dayna said, bringing awareness to the situation, how you feel without being confrontational, I think is the best route to take, because a lot of times people, and it can still be hurtful that they're like, oh, so they're just like not aware that this is happening. They should be aware. Like, but it can happen in a way that's not a personal thing. It's not a personal attack, because people do get really busy with their lives. And sometimes it is sort of like not out of sight, out of mind, but people get wrapped up in what's happening in the day to day and what's in front of them, that sometimes the friends that are further away from us, those relationships do suffer because of that. But I think bringing this up and making it say, and having a plan too, not just like placing blame and pointing fingers and say, you need to fix this, but just say like, I feel like I come out here every week and I'm kind of the one that's trying to make this all happen. But if your heart's not in it, that's fine. But I don't want to be the only one watering these plants here. Yeah. I think, especially like you have your friends that don't live here, it does require extra attention and effort to maintain those friendships and making plans to come see one another. Like I have friends that don't live here, they don't live far, but like we always try to make it a point to plan something and also not put pressure on the other one.
I mean, the three of us live in 3 different states. So it's like, but also like Courtney specifically has been in my life since I was 13. She's been in 2/3 of my life, and we went to all the same schools and lived together, and me and her and Randy live together. But it's like me and her, we're lucky if we talk on the phone, I would say every other month, like for a catch up, so but one day I really noticed that, but then I was like, I get it. And I've just understood the shift, but I just feel confident that these are people that I want in my life and I know will always be in my life, even though we're in different seasons right now. Yeah.
And I think it's important to also point out that like, your friends who you were really close with is really easy and you spoke to all the time,
we lived together when we were girls.
Yeah,
like,
but not addressing that space actually is a really big challenge.
Totally.
And it doesn't matter if it's an hour and a half. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not acknowledging that the relationship has changed or will change. And I think saying that you're a traumatized millennial who wants to pretend everything's okay, you can't pretend that it's just going to happen and function the way it used to or should.
Physical geography does have a lot to do with it. My sister's best friend, Lisa, who I've talked about before, who's basically our other sister, Brittany and her live like 5 minutes away from each other. They have kids that are the same age, so they have never strained in but they live right near each other. It's a completely different thing, I
mean, even friends that live nearby, when their life changes, when they have like kids and everything like that, like it, and you just have to accept it. You have to accept that things change.
Yep. I think that's a part of growing up, honestly, maturing, because I used to be a little more bitter about things when I moved to California, which was my choice. I left. I didn't know anyone when I moved here, and all my friends stayed really close from back home. And then I just realized it takes 2 to tango. And there was a time that I was bitter about that. And then I was just like, oh, that's just kind of how life goes. And then it does open up space for the friends that I currently have.
I think you should hold these friendships really near and dear. Talk to them, tell them how important their friendship is to you, and maintaining some type of communication that's realistic. You don't need to talk every day, but like let's have catch-ups on like a Sunday or like whatever day works, and like have like an appointment with them. And then also really investing in your friendships that are nearby. Right. And don't feel like a victim of your previous life.
Do not come from a place of defensiveness. Yeah. People will respond to being vulnerable and saying like, I love you enough to have this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, hope that helps.
Hope that fucking helps.
Okay. Steph says, hi, Coven. First off, thank you for reading some of my stories. I really appreciate it. Normally I find myself on the same page with you, but I've got to be honest. You're not gonna like this. I think you're wrong about weapons. So here's my WWDD moment. Help me understand. Of course, art is subjective. There are plenty of films I think are underrated, like Last Night in Soho or Lisa Frankenstein. But with this one, I need to know what you're seeing that I'm not. I went in with high hopes, especially after Barbarian, which is so original, full of twists, and left me thinking about it for weeks. Weapons didn't land this way for me. The witch clown reveal fell flat. Maybe it came too early, or maybe she just wasn't menacing enough, but nothing about her felt scary. The cop and drug dealer scene dragged on and didn't add much to the story. And that final chase scene, I couldn't stop laughing. If this was meant as a comedy, maybe I'd feel differently, but as horror, it just didn't work for me. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe I'm still chasing the high that The Ring gave me. at 7 years old. I love your perspective. What did you see that clicked for you? XOXO Gossip Girl Steph. I think that you went in with certain expectations that you should not place on a movie, and especially trying to compare it to other horror films. What I love about Zach Cregger is that he flips all of that on his head. He's not going to reveal the same way The Ring does. It's not going to have the same feel as everything else. You kind of have to go in with like no expectations and just let it sort of wash over you. I thought the reveal of the way it was being revealed in those like quick flashes.
What are you talking about?
That was terrifying. And then to find out that it's like that's this creepy witch woman. I think give it another try and don't be comparing it to things like The Ring and stuff like that. I think he has such a fresh take and perspective on horror that it doesn't need to follow the fucking typical blueprint. I think that's what is about it that makes it great. I think the hilarity and comedy that he uses in it is really refreshing. Yeah, like the chasing was hilarious. Like it was so absurd.
It was meant to be camp. Here's the thing, Spielberg. First of all, I think
we love you.
Yeah, we love you. I'm not fighting with you, but I think that you're also, if you're going into it as a Ebert and Robert, like actual movie critic, I don't feel like you were watching it just from the perspective of a consumer. And also, you're allowed not to like it. Yeah. It's allowed not to land for you. So if it didn't, it didn't. But I don't agree with you at all about, what's her fucking name?
I think
Agnes,
she just wants us to explain what we felt.
No, I'm going, what's her name? Magnus, the witch. What's her name? Gladys. Fuck.
Oh,
okay, so
Gladys.
You're saying that you don't find Gladys scary? You know what, Steph? I'm going to challenge you. I think if Gladys, you turn around in a dark room and she was standing there, you'd have quite a fright. Not just because it was someone. I actually thought that they did an incredible job of showing the fact that she's decaying and the weird makeup and the way that she spoke in old time. They have a touch of consumption, which is tuberculosis or something from to show her age and the fact that who she was.
And the ups and downs.
The original splices confused me at first, and I thought that they were put in really well. But then when we met her, it tied it together for me. So I actually thought it was introduced really well, perhaps too soon in your opinion, but even in the way they introduced her initially, when we see the story through Alex's perspective, she gets here and you don't really see her face and you can't see anything about her, and then he doesn't get to see, and then when the parents are weird, that's his moment to really know her. I think that there were also realistic themes about, I think that he tied it into, school shootings, which is poignant for living in America in this day and age, particularly because we just had one, how an entire class can be gone and how it's, we're blaming the teachers when there's this outrage that it's like a false idol, right? It should be redirected other places. I thought that the drug dealing thing, I thought it was all so interesting. I think each segment had
I think that
its
helped
purpose.
Build the world. I think that's important in storytelling, is like you have to really create this world. And I think those two stories and perspectives just helped create this, like, I don't know what the correct word is, but the world. Yeah.
Well, and then the crescendo, the chase, I was like screaming during it because it was ridiculous and it was meant to be that way. And it was like so great. And then in the end, how it was just not tied up in a pretty bow and everyone wasn't well all of a sudden. That's what stayed with me. It's like no one won in that situation. Like it was just ugly. So yeah, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But again, you're totally entitled not to have liked it.
I think a good way to look at it too is like the way that we went into Barbarian and then we're completely turned on our heads like that was the fun of it. And then so I think having that same approach of like not comparing it to Barbarian or expecting it to follow those same like rules, but I think just being open to like whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I think that's the nice approach. Movies like The Conjuring, you know what to expect. And that's what makes them fun. But sometimes this type of movie that has just a little bit more camp, a little more fun to it, you don't know what to expect.
And the way it was even shot, like I can't get over. I found this so refreshing as a whole and completely unexpected. And God, it was just a 10 out of 10 for me. So I'm sorry that you didn't like it. But Anonymous says, "Hi ladies, love you both so much. I'm going to get straight to the point here. Recently, my husband and I, together for 12 years, and our daughter, who just turned 1, went on a family vacation. My husband's work friend also came up and essentially spent the week with us. One of the friends we'll call Rob, I had an instant connection with. We are very similar and get along really well. Bonus points for the fact that he's so sweet and kind to our daughter. Not only that, one of the nights while everyone else was partying at a club, we stayed outside on the balcony, just the two of us chatting for at least 2 hours. Not really sure how long, we weren't paying attention to our phones, but it felt like a lifetime and I found myself never wanting it to end. It was absolutely wonderful conversation and it definitely felt a spark. I can't tell if it's mutual or not. He's a super nice guy and personable in general, but part of me is feeling guilty. But part of me in my gut feels it was mutual. Either way, we just honestly hit it off. And I feel guilty as fuck because I'm definitely attracted to him, but I'm not unhappy in my relationship either. But I have also thought it would be like to kiss Rob, and I feel myself wanting to be around him and thinking about him. I feel so horrible about this, and it's really confusing to feel this way. I know if I mention any of this to my husband, he would be broken to pieces. So basically, what would disrespectfully do? Am I the asshole for feeling this way, or is it perfectly normal to feel when you've been with someone for as long as I have and meet someone new that you just click with right away? Sincerely, I might want to have my cake and eat it too, but in an honest and respectful way. Well, I think that this is kind of layered. I think and there's nuance to it, because I feel like you're asking us for permission to have an affair, which we're not going to give you. But I will say, I don't think it's normal to be attracted to someone when you've been with someone and you're complacent to like feel something. But I think the difference is what you do with that feeling. If then, okay, you know this about yourself. If you're happy in your other relationship and you don't want to get a divorce, then I would say you should be protective of that relationship and not be putting yourself in the situation to be also their coworkers. That's really messy, and be like flirting with them or having this connection or letting it foster and all of those things. I think it can be harmless in the sense that no one's perfect, and people feel things. People are attracted to other people. That's fine. But I would say it's kind of feels like you feel complacent and you're looking to blow up your life because this is only going to lead down a bad path. However, if you want to get divorced, get divorced. Like you don't need to cheat, but I think you should decide in a vacuum in your relationship if you're happy or not fundamentally, and either stick with it or don't. And then outside of that, it should have nothing to do with this other person. I think that's where the problem ends up coming in, where people feel a spark or whatever and then let that influence, and sometimes it ends up being an affair. But then also it's like maybe that's telling you something that you aren't happy in your relationship. I think you should be looking more at that than outside factors.
I think this is how 90% of affairs happen. I think people have this perspective that affairs are always like the guy's fucking his secretary or da-da-da. And like those very much exist. Like those, but I think people find themselves in affairs more than they set out to have them, to be honest. And what I mean by that is just people, when they have certain needs not being met emotionally, sexually, whatever, it will reveal itself by someone else presenting and you kind of being caught off guard by these things. So I think while you're like, no, my relationship is great, I would really be looking inward and seeing like how you're connecting with your spouse, how like that relationship in itself, because usually this is a symptom of something larger, I think. And I don't condone like affairs. I understand how they happen, because to be perfectly honest, I almost could have found myself in that place. Like it would never have gotten to that point for several reasons, but like I knew that I was
something was wrong in your marriage.
And I already knew that as well. But like, again, this symptom of like finding myself emotionally connecting to another person. And that was a huge wake up call to me, because I was like, I need to like really self-examine here, because that had never happened before. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I just knew like it was just everything else that was just underneath the surface that revealed itself. And it was like a movie and I couldn't stop watching it. So I would just look at that. And again, I don't think there's any shame or anything negative about getting a divorce. I think there is more of that in affairs, even though I know far too many people who have had
more
them.
People should just get divorced or not be together.
Yeah, I don't explore this. Don't entertain it. I would say if you have a therapist, talk to them about it. Like really try to like entrust this with somebody. You need somebody that you can talk it out with so you're not acting impulsively, I would say.
And we're not judging. This is not coming from a place of judgment.
No, I don't. I'm coming from a place like I relate to this. I know I know exactly how this feels, which is, and I wanted to do the correct thing. I wanted to honor my marriage by not stepping out on it. But like I understand I get how it ends up happening. I get how emotional affairs happen, because you just you do meet someone, you're like, why can't I stop thinking about them?
You also have the factor of having a child. And I think that more people who get involved with affairs leap first and think later, and their kids are impacted, and more so men. But it does, like their kids aren't taken into consideration the way that they should be. So take a beat, please. Take a breath. Talk to someone that you can trust. Figure out what's going on.
Yeah, because obviously this is something that you need to discuss. That's why you're writing in, because when you have something like that feels like a secret, that feels wrong, that feels, I think everything you're feeling, so many people feel. Yeah. Sadly. Again, that's why affairs happen.
And also 98% of the time, the grass ain't greener. It feels like that when you're in that position. But
well, yeah, because that's why then examine like what you're getting out of this that you're not getting in your relationship, and go, water your own grass first.
It feels footloose and fancy free because the stakes are low. you don't have any real skin in the game of you guys are chatting on a vacation. Well, what about real life? It looks pretty different once it ends up happening. So anyway, that's our 2 cents.
Hope it helps. Yeah. Update us if you can too.
Yeah, we're nosy.
Carly says, hi, Dana/Danya and Katie. Danya from Vogue.
Danya from Vogue.
Hope this isn't super weird, but I had a dream last night that me and my best friend took a trip to LA and you guys were showing us around and it was so cute and fun. I love that.
Great.
Naturally, I took this as a sign to write in. I am a day one listener and VPR fan, and I want to thank you both for your relatability and bringing some levity to my days. Here's my question/situation. My boyfriend and I just bought a house together. We've been dating for a year and a half and are very committed to each other. I've been through my share of horrible exes, so it's great to finally be in a loving and healthy relationship. We are in our late 20s and we plan to get married at some point. He's told me he wants to surprise me with a proposal and marriage plans, so I have no idea when it's actually going to happen. I have no qualms about this order of events, but I can feel the judgment from certain friends and family members for us buying a house before we're even engaged, or making us feel guilty because we have been fortunate enough to buy a house before other people in our circles. It makes me not want to share with people that we are buying a house, even though we're excited about it, because I don't want to have to explain myself or validate our decisions to anyone. I don't want anyone to rain on our parade and spoil something that is wonderful for us. What is the best way to block out the noise from other people and move forward in your own path in society that puts pressure on doing things in a certain way? Thank you so much. Lots of that. Well, this is the podcast for that, because
Sure is.
I'll tell you this much. You're in your late 20s, so you're growing up. When you get into your late 30s, you just simply don't give a fuck. Like, less fucks to give every day. So just bear that in mind, that like you can give all the fucks that you feel that you need to give right now, but eventually it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter now, and it's not going to matter later. You can do things however you want to do. You want to never get married? Don't ever get married. You just want to own a home together? Fine. You want to have a kid and never get, like, you can do things however you want in whatever order you want to. I think for so long there was this societal pressure that you got to get married before you're 30. Why? You got to have kids before you're 35. Like, all of that's, we're seeing that all break down, like crumble. Those standards are non-existent, and they're a fallacy. And I think there's a lot of projection happening. I think people are jealous, so they want to judge you for your decisions and be jealous that you're buying a house or whatever, or your relationship in itself. I think you really got to like commit to the bubble, not invite so many people in to celebrate you if they're not going to be celebrating you. I just think that like it's you and your husband, you and your boyfriend, soon to be husband. And I think it's great that he wants to surprise you and have it happen anytime, because like don't force or push that along either. Like, let it be on his time.
The way that I ruined my late 20s and early 30s by internalizing external pressures to be on a track that I didn't even know I didn't want, or didn't want it to look the way that it did.
I gave an ultimatum and then actively tried to get pregnant. When I'm looking back, I'm like, why did I do any of that?
Legitimately insane. And like so many of those people whose voices I let get in my head and fear of judgment, I would legitimately not trade lives with 98% of them or have the relationships. Yeah. I'm aware that I haven't found the love of my life, and who knows if it's out there. But what I do know is my life is amazing, and I never could have dreamt it would be. And it totally does not look like what a lot of people I know, at least from back home, would see for a 35-year-old. Like, I'm like, 35, it's all arbitrary. People just put these things. It's a system of the patriarchy. I haven't said this in a few months, so I'm going to say it now. We are on a rock. It's on fire. We're floating through space. Nothing fucking matters. Mm-mm. Do what makes you happy, and you just have to block it out. Like, the second you finally free yourself of that, your life comes 10 times more incredible. Like, I've gotten to places emotionally with myself that I never even dreamt of because I let that not be my problem.
Yeah.
It's so fucking freeing. I can't explain.
Haters are going to hate. Bottom line. I think you just have to like filter through it. Just, I don't give a fuck.
And congratulations. They're jealous.
What? You don't think I should be buying a house before I get married? I don't give a fuck. Oh, you don't like this. You don't like my boyfriend.
Well, then don't you do it.
Then guess what? Be happy that it's not your life. I wouldn't trade positions with you for 15 seconds.
No.
So that's the difference between you and I. Have that attitude a little more.
Yeah.
Have a fuck 'em attitude.
Yeah.
I love it.
Can't love that. Wait, last one. Samantha says, Firstly, I saw Katie at my local weed store a few weeks ago, and I wanted to say hi, but she was conversing with the employee, and I didn't want to be disrespectful. So this is my hi, love the pod moment I could have had. If this is the area I ask a question, my question is, I just turned 40, and I'm taking a solo trip to London, Paris in November to celebrate. I feel like there's been a few Euro trips taken. What is my must do, eat, drink? Dishoom is already on the list. Love you both so much.
You should have said hi. Always.
I know, I'm sad that they didn't.
I want everyone to feel that it's okay to come say hi.
100%.
Also, I'd rather you do that than take some weird, creepy picture of me when I'm not prepared.
Absolutely. Please. I mean, I have a million things. First of all, shout out to you for taking yourself on a solo trip to celebrate 40. Incredible, iconic. We love to see it. I think I was in Paris around that time of year. So here's my Paris Rex. La Fontaine de Mars. You can book a reservation. It was one of my favorite meals that I had the whole time.
L'Avenue is also really amazing.
Delicious. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Is it Day Royale or Deyrolle? Raleigh's rolling her eyes listening to this. It's the taxidermy shop. That's like a museum. If you're into that at all, it was so cool to see. They have every kind of exotic creature you can imagine. Museum d'Orsay. If you're going to get really fancy, Arpège was the 3 Michelin star lunch that we did. I thought it was very worth it. It's expensive, but whatever. L'Avenue was a good restaurant. Crazy Horse in Paris, not to be missed if you're looking for a good show.
I think, yeah. I haven't been there, but Moulin Rouge is also awesome.
The rest of my life going to Paris, I will probably go to Crazy Horse every time.
Did
That's
you
how
go
much I
to
love
the
it.
baby bottle place?
Yes, we
Wait,
did,
what's that
which
one
is called Refuge du Fondue.
Yeah, go there. It's in Marmont. It's fucking awesome.
Marmont in
Marmont
general.
is so great. And also, I love Marmont. You can cruise around there. There's so many cute like little cafes. It's really beautiful. It has an amazing view of Paris. Also, just walk around the Latin Quarter. It's so beautiful. The Magic Steps from Midnight in Paris is there. They've got so many cute cafes. I just like to like stroll around areas that are cute, and then if I find like a little cafe to stop in and have a glass of wine, do that. You can have views of the Eiffel Tower. I would honestly skip going to it.
Yeah.
Like it's a waste of time, I think. Don't come for me. That's just my personal opinion. I think there's better ways to spend your time. And then London, yeah, obviously Dishoom. Go to Gordon's Wine Bar. Obviously get fish and chips almost, not almost anywhere, but like you can't really go wrong at like a pub with fish and chips.
Mm-hmm. Notting Hill.
Love Notting Hill.
We love, that's a great stroll neighborhood.
Lost Souls Pizza in Camden. Really excellent pizza. They got the charcoal crust. They also do gluten-free. They have like a full bar. It's just like a really fun vampire-themed rock pizza place. And the loveliest souls work there. They're so cool. And then if you also just take a stroll up to World's End, it's a really fun bar. They play like metal music. Is awesome.
Many, many amazing things to do. Real quick, back in Paris, City Pharma. That's a fun thing to do. Look up, it's the skin, you get cheap skincare there.
Oh yeah, the pharmacies.
You get, it's incredible. Cheap skincare. Go look online, research the products that they have that are the best. It's fun to see. It's chaotic, but go get stuff there.
And the Marais also is a really great, like very kind of more, I would compare it to like a Soho with like really great shopping and cafes if you want to like do a shopping thing.
Good vintage shops there.
Vintage is like the in what's that area?
Maybe I'm getting it wrong. I don't know.
The area. Hold on.
Oh, and the L'Orangerie Museum is a smaller museum. Beautiful park to walk through to get there. I can't remember what it's called. And then it's like where the big Monets are, the water lilies. So it's cool to see. And Versailles. I didn't do the Louvre the last time I was there because obviously if you've done it before, you don't need to do it again, in my personal opinion. But go to Louvre if you haven't. It's very worth it. If you have to pick one, I would. It's incredible to see. And then what's it called? Versailles is worth it to see.
Oh
And
yeah,
the catacombs.
Versailles is so fun.
It's if you haven't, definitely go. And again, this is so exciting. You're doing this for your birthday for yourself. Well, I think this episode's been long enough, so I guess they're
Okay.
just gonna have to
Bastille. Bastille has a really great vintage shops. Okay, that's all.
That's all you get. Okay, well, I think this went better. And hopefully next week is even better. So
It's going to be for sure.
it can only go up from here. For sure.
Okay.
All right, that's the episode.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you, bye.
Babe, you're gonna see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.